Maybe you go back to March 1945 and you look at a treaty. Maybe you have an Arabian-US commission to discuss it. Maybe at some point you don't apologize. That is a tradition which I don't think so important. But maybe you say, for instance, that I wish it could be undone. Maybe you say that this was not the wisest thing we could have done on board the aircraft carrier in the Suez Canal with Ibn Saud on the one hand and Franklin Delano Roosevelt on the other. One of the last things before he expired on the 12th of April, 1945. Amy, you will now ask, how can I remember that? That was the day my father was released from concentration camp. So it was a day with one shiny light and a very sad day. We admired and we loved Roosevelt. Like most of the world loves America, but not US imperialism, you see. And since you asked me about the US media, look, this is a country with so many universities, so many educated people, brilliant people, charming people, wonderful people. I don't understand why the mainstream media have to market that much stupidity.
Johan Galtung, you dedicate this book, your latest book, The Fall of the U.S. Empire and Then What? To a country I love, the United States of America. You write, you will swim so much better without that imperial albatross around your neck. Drown it before it drowns you, and let 1,000 flowers blossom. How?
I mean every word of it. I can even tell you that when I give talks about this many places in the U.S., I put hand on heart and say I love the U.S. Republic and I hate the U.S. Empire. You see, to many people this doesn't make sense. It's called anti-American. No, no, no. I've had, I'll tell you, people coming up to me saying that that remark relieved them of an enormous problem. Namely, I have so much difficulties with our foreign policy, our economic penetration, our cultural arrogance, our political maneuvering and arms twisting, and yet I love my country. And what I try to say is that these are two different things. And the albatross is around your neck. Get rid of it. Give it up. Do the following 4 things very quickly. Economically, trade for mutual benefit, fine, but equal benefit. And that means to examine the impact of your economic deals down to the last bottom, not only in a third world country, but maybe also in your own. Maybe you need some retraining of your economists to do that. Militarily, pull your bases back. 800, 150 countries is madness. And instead of all that, conflict resolution, conflict resolution, conflict resolution. There are so many places in the US now where the young generation is being trained in it. They're doing brilliant steps forward. A Department of Peace, as suggested by Dennis Kucinich, and I think about 64 congressmen and women are behind it, something like that. A brilliant conception. And I'll tell you one thing, if the US had that one, and even permitted it to shine as the famous castle upon a hill, all the love for the US around the world would return. It would be just fabulous. Now, third thing, politically, no more arms twisting. Negotiation with the cards on the table, no threats, no nothing. No secret call by the US ambassador to UN or whatever it is to call in somebody and tell them that if you do this and that, if you insist on this as your bargaining position, we will do something and so on. I know so many such stories. Point 4, get down from the idea of having a separate mandate from God, even a mandate to kill. The word is dialogue. The word is simply to say, we have something that we can contribute. And do you have from this marvelous, generous country? But others also have something. For instance, it seems that the Muslims have some good ideas about banking, like not lending more than 30% of your capital. Well, if your upper limit is 2,400 or something like that, then you're a little bit high. And if that limit is considered too high and is abolished in 2004, then the sky is the limit. Down it came. And it'll come down again. US is today probably heading for a rather important crash, and in all probability for a major devaluation of its currency. But let us leave that aside. Let us just say a new economic relations to other countries, conflict resolution instead of bases and invasions and interventions and special forces all around the world, negotiations with open cards without threats, and dialogue. Dialogue, dialogue, dialogue. All the Americans I know very well, and many of them Jewish Americans, have extremely good talents for this. Why couldn't that be more the tone and the tenor of US policy?
We have 2 minutes before the satellite ends. Johan Galtung, as you leave the United States, what do you want to leave U.S. people here in the U.S. with? Your thoughts?
We're making the distinction between the empire and the republic, and that the republic could do beautifully without the empire, like so many others have done before them. I can give you general public opinion studies around the world, let us say in Muslim countries. About 85% love the United States of America, like I and my Japanese wife do. About 85% hate U.S. foreign policy. You see, take that seriously. Just have a look at your military, economic, political, and cultural foreign policy. They can be changed. It's even relatively easy. Make yourself a normal country. No exceptionalism, please. A normal, wonderful country. Maybe you will find it in your interest to make North America a region, a Mexuscan, a Mexico, United States, Canada. That could also be a shiny light, with Mexico as a bridge to Latin America, which is now finding its own ways outside the Organization of American States, a Latin American region. Well, put your fingers in the earth, find out where you are, and you will find marvelous roads forward for an ever better American Republic.
Johan Galtung, founder of Peace Studies. His latest book is called The Fall of the U.S. Empire, and Then What? You can get a DVD of today's broadcast at democracynow.org. Oh, and by the way, Democracy Now! Has 2 job openings, full-time here in New York. Chief Broadcast Engineer to manage audio and video technical operations, also Social Media and Communications Manager. You can go to our website at democracynow.org for more details. Democracy Now! Is produced by Mike Burke, Sharif Abdel-Quddus, Aaron Mate, Angelique Comet, Steve Martinez, Nicole Salazar, Hani Massoud, Robbie Karen, Mike DeFilippo, Peter Curries, Miguel Noguera, our engineers. Special thanks also to Julie Crosby, Becca Staley, Nick Gilla, Hugh Grant, Samantha Chambly, Miriam Barnard, Brenda Murad, Jessel Noor, John Gerberg, Vesta Godars. Our website is democracynow.org. You can follow us on Twitter there. You can also read our full transcripts and see the video and audio podcast. We're also streaming there at democracynow.org. Tell your friends about independent media. You are the hope for this broadcast and independent media around the country and around the world. I'm Amy Goodman. Thanks so much for joining us.